Welcome, y'all. The old Derby Man 103 right here, otherwise known as Mad Cow. Just saw a couple of the other Derby videos about the local rules, and I just thought I'd share my local rules. I've got them pulled up here since I don't have the paper anywhere near me right now. But right here we run mostly, you say weld doors. You can weld the frame seams from the front cowl forward, weld bumpers, you can stuff tires, stiff suspension, that's a new one. And recently they're starting to outlaw wedged cars, which is a good thing because they've been causing a lot of flips. They get quite dangerous. But so I cover a couple of them. Obviously, when you build a derby car, it's pretty much common sense as far as safety. You know, you take your gas tank out, you put a 6-gallon boat tank in the back seat, securely fastened and covered. You take your battery out, you put it up front, the passenger floorboard, bolt it down, cover it. Fire extinguisher, which is actually, for some reason, it's not mandatory anymore, it's optional. I like to run with fire extinguisher. I've got one sitting down here, buried. Always nice to have, peace of mind, whatever. And they recommend at least a 4-point cage around the interior of the car, where you got your dash bar, your door bars, and the rear bar. But half the time, I don't have time to run it, and since I run the mini cars, it's not really too big of a concern. But they're always nice to have, especially in the big cars. And I've had a few mini cars where I wish I would have had the simple little roll bar set up. That's always a good one. Let's see, as far as, of course, they don't allow hearses, limos, jeeps, checkers, imperials, suicide Lincolns, trucks, or whatever, or wedge cars. They don't allow those anymore. Let's see, any engine, transmission, as long as it's, well, actually it's whatever. Whatever engine you can find stuff down the car, run it. They don't even care no more. See, the suspension, you can run stiff, but you cannot change a coil over to a leaf. If it came leaf, you can keep it leaf, but if it came coil, it's got to stay coil. Which, that's a lot of work to change them out anyway. I don't have time to do that. Of course, your bumper height, 27 inches from the top of the bumper, from the center. Let's see, you can chain your rear humps to keep them from flopping out, because GMs are bad about that. Frames and bumpers, let's see. You can weld the front, a single bead on the frame from the cowl firewall forward, which helps. That's mostly big cars though, you don't ever do that in mini cars. You can weld the bumpers to the frame, you can chain the bumpers, do whatever. Obviously you can patch frames if they're rusted through, but you gotta do like a small plate. You know, you can't go overkill, you will get kicked out. Usually most people won't even look for a car that's rusted out like that. So, let's see, the body mounts, you can take them out, put washers in it. It's a 1/2 inch minimum. As far as that, you can't just take the body and squish it onto the frame. You gotta put some sort of spacers in it. Let's see, all thread, you can run 4 places in the front hood. You can run, I think, 4 places in the trunk, which I don't ever do that because I run minis. I just run 2 up front. Of course, the trunk's always welded. Of course, you have to have a hole cut out. It's a 7-inch hole cut out in the hood and the trunk lid for inspection and fire. It's you have the angle iron to bolt your hood and your fender, and your trunk lid to the fender, quarter panel. It's unlimited chain and wire, which the wire is really nice because I really run it right for that core support like crazy. Let's see, you can weld trunk lid, you can weld doors, weld them all solid. Let's see, driver's compartment, blah, 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 blah. Door plates, optional. I like to run them, but this year I didn't have one, so I didn't run it. Didn't become no issue, didn't have any problems. I do like to run a door bar, or door plate, I should say. It's like a 12-inch tall by, I usually run like 27 or something like that. No, 57. Long enough for a 2-door car. Doorpost to doorpost. And usually at least, 1/4 inch thick or so. Of course, when you go strip them out, you got to take everything out, all interior. Anything that can catch fire, take it out, throw it in the burn pile. No lights, no glass, none of that crap. You don't need it. Basically, what my rule is, if it runs without it, you don't need it. Throw it. Unless it's mandatory to keep the engine running, you don't need it. I have been known to keep the dash in the car a couple years, like 2 years ago or something like that, and I still had the stereo in it. I was jamming that sucker during the demo too. I didn't care. But that car was thrown together. It was one of those slapped together mini cars, which did actually pretty decent. That got me to what, 2nd place? That wasn't too bad. That car I ended up wasting it though. Let's see, tires can be liquid or solid filled or stuffed. Normal. You can have tranny coolers. It's got to be mounted behind the back seat, below the back seat, the top of it. Those are allowed. I don't ever bother with them because I don't run big car. And you rarely ever see that in a mini car. Let's see for the mini cars. Of course, they must be 2-wheel drive. The mini cars, they changed the wheelbase limit to 106 and shorter, which is awesome. Because they had last year was 104, which screwed me over on one of my cars. Because I always run minis. They're quick, they're fun, they're cheaper. Of course, you can run big car bumpers on the mini cars now. And they started doing stock car. Stock car is your traditional, where we first began demoing. Basically, you strip it out, throw some number 9 wire on the hood, and run it. It's a have fun. I might get back into doing that because it's a lot more fun. It's a lot even. You don't have any more cheaters. People that like to stuff their frames, don't like to get away with all this bull crap. So basically, you just run number 9 wire on your hood at 8 spots. Real simple. It's a full gutted car. Move your gas tank, move your battery, of course. Nothing welded. Absolutely no welds. Let's see. Must be a stock engine. No headers. Just a stock manifold flipped upside down if you have a GM. That's basically it on that. Stock cars are real basic. Strip it out and run it, basically. It's all about having fun. And the trucks, I'm not going to get into trucks because I don't run trucks. It's basically the same as the cars. There's a few other things. I'm not really familiar with trucks because I don't run them. I know there's all kinds, like how they shorten the front bumper down, how they bolt the cab to the bed, and stuff like that, but I don't know a whole lot about trucks. Then lawnmowers. That's another one I run, lawnmowers. There's been a lot of places running cage mowers. I really don't care much for cage mowers. They're basically freaking tanks. Nothing bends. It all comes down to who can stall whose engine or who can flip who. I really don't like them. Now, up in Terre Haute, Fat Boy Dan, he runs a stock mower. Very minimum things you can do. No cage. You can have leg protectors. That's it. You can watch the hood come to pieces, get bent all to hell. Awesome. It's a real fun event. You actually see things bend. The crowd really gets into it. It's not boring like cage mowers. And that's another one I like to run. I didn't get to run this year up there. Just had too many things going on. Couldn't get the mower squared up. Next year I will have the stock mower going, and I will have a cage mower just for fun. But as far as lawnmowers, it's some places a lot of different things. You just have to look up the local rules for where your event is. There's several different classes. Well, there's like 2 classes, cage and stock. I don't like cage. I really don't. Let's see, I think that's it as far as our rules around here. Yeah. Basically, that's the main one. That's going off of Leadfoot Motorsports. that's the rules we ran here. There's also H&J, and there's also Tri-State Speedway, which they all basically run the same exact rules, which is nice. Finally, they all synced up, got about the same rules. Makes it a lot easier on everyone. So, makes it pretty even. And of course, this year I ran the first annual Rallies Benefit Derby in Vanderbilt County on May the 14th. I ran there. I got the videos up on the YouTube. Just check out my channel. You'll see them. You'll see all the build process of the car. You'll see it getting destroyed, fixed back up, destroyed again. See, I didn't do too well at that derby. I ended up losing a tire early, killed my traction. Ended up having the back wheel get bent sideways, which killed my traction even more, and ended up getting high-centered. I got, what, 5th place? Not too bad. It kind of sucked because I couldn't put on the show for the kids and all that. But it all went to charity. It was fun. We all had fun. No big deal. That's just part of a demo. But the second derby I ran in that car, same car, was on July 4th at the Gibson County Fair. I put on a show that night. Oh, yeah. See, I don't remember how many cars there were for the minis, but I pretty much put the hammer down, and I did not let up. I was there to destroy that car. I was tired of looking at it. I needed the engine for another vehicle, and I just went at it, and I ended up getting 5th place. This nice trophy right here, 5th place. And the pride and glory right here of any derby driver's dreams, the Mad Dog. That right there made my day. That's the crowning jewel of derby. That's why we do it. When you get that Mad Dog, that means you're crowd favorite. And I had that crowd on their toes. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, that was a big thanks to Leadfoot for putting on the 2 derbies. A lot of fun. Can't wait for next year. Might try to run some more derbies. I had a blast this year for the 2 derbies I got to run. Still trying to build my stuff back up from when I got wiped out a couple years ago. But as you can tell from all my junk behind me, that's just, you know, a fraction of what I've got accumulated. Slowly build my derby stuff back up. But let's see. Go back to here. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. All I want to talk about. And we got been watching on the YouTube some of the other derby guys putting on these videos, doing a great job, putting on good shows. Out there having fun. So what derby was all about was have fun. Every derby I've seen so far, or around here anyway, there's a lot of cheaters. People putting a lot of money in these engines, setting these cars up, working on year round. Go out there sandbagging the hell out of them. These cars are tougher than anyone out there. Some of them are actually legitimately built. They actually know what they're doing, and they got driver skill. I'll give them that. But some of these cars, either they sandbag or they're overbuilt. It takes away from the fun. When you're out there to win the money and the trophy, you shouldn't be derbying anymore. Move on to another hobby. Because it is all about having fun, putting on a show for the crowd. If I can't get the crowd on their feet at least once in a derby, I shouldn't be derbying then. I mean, this right here proves I was there to put on a show that night. I was going to do the same for the other derby, but, you know, I lost time early from breaking stuff. But, yeah, I'm in it just for the fun. You know, have my 15, 20 minutes of fame, put on the show, you know, tear some stuff up. I'm not worried about saving the car. Because usually I only run maybe 1-2 derbies a year right now. If I had a place to store my stuff, I'd probably run a lot more. But even then, even though I had a surplus of cars like some of these guys have, I'd still be out there just putting on the show, having fun. go ahead and stop yapping because I'm taking up all your time. So, taking to have fun, be safe, tear some stuff up. Later.